I spent another 1000 days on my hardcore world, making it 3000 days in total. And it's pretty safe to say that in the past 1000 days, I definitely built the most crazy projects so far. And usually, I don't like putting downloads of my builds online, but if you like this video, I may put a download for all the projects in this video in the description. But now, I hope you got your snacks ready, because big projects are about to be built. So let's start with the first one. So I recently moved into a new base, which comes with one problem. I still go to the old base to enter my Nether portal there. That's an easy fix, you say? Just build a portal in the new base. Yeah, that's boring. And since I'm not a fan of how a regular Nether portal looks, I mean, the end portal just looks way cooler. I thought, what if the Nether portal looked like an end portal? Turns out, it looks absolutely amazing. So inspired by the two legends, Kolani and Beppo, I built a giant Nether themed end portal, and to top it all, I built a giant Nether inside the portal, creating the illusion the portal is actually working. And since you've absolutely demolished the like button on the dungeon video, let's try and get 30k for this one, and I will make a download too. Building such a huge Nether in the ground requires a bit of preparation though. First, I need to dig a 170 by 170 hole using TNT tubers first. So let's quickly grab some dirt and mark the area where the hole will be. This was actually the fastest way I can get. I cut the block placement for every single frame. The only way making this faster is this cut. But with the area now defined, I also needed to flatten out the area to make the TNT tubers work properly, obviously starting by removing all the trees. Which took less flint and steel than I thought. However, this actually still took quite some time. And I also had to flatten a bit of terrain over here. And the final thing before building the TNT tubers, removing all the visual water in the caves within the area. Now this should be all the preparation work done. Time to grab some stuff to build the TNT tubers and get to work. Alright, moment of truth. This is my first time starting a quarry machine, so let's see if this is working. Oh, yeah, he dead. But it looks like the thing is running. Well, of course I had to make something wrong. Gotta rebuild it again. I accidentally paused recording, but I just removed one block right there and it seems to work again. Let me just quickly pause the machine again. Yep. Alright, but what's wrong with that one? So I basically just removed the glowstone. So after a bit of troubleshooting, turns out I didn't align the returning mechanism properly to the actual TNT machine. But after some fixing, I got it running again. With the machine now running, I only had to wait and remove all the water. But since this is the first time I'm working with such machinery, I had no clue how long this process takes. So about an hour in and only this much progress, I soon decided to build a second machine, starting at the second half of the area. Bro, I just wanted to get some redstone from my shulker boxes to start the second machine. Yeah, they are all gone because there was probably a random mob fight right here. I wasn't even here. This was probably a skeleton trying to shoot me up there or something and then hitting a creeper. Bro, that's all my tools. That's all my tools, my chest plate, my goodies. Gosh, it's all gone from one single creeper. You are kidding me. And I don't have any rockets. Alright, let's go and grab some rockets again. Yeah, well, turns out it was actually my own fault. See, I went back through the footage and found this. I was casually going to grab some more rockets without noticing some mobs spawning, including skeletons and creepers, just as I arrived at the shulker boxes. And when I flew away, the skeleton probably shot me but hit the creeper instead, which then exploded, destroying the shulker boxes, and 5 minutes later, they obviously despawned. You can even hear the creeper's explosion in the background if you listen carefully. That's a pretty big loss, not gonna lie. I lost tons of goodies with these two shulker boxes. Alright, let's get some rockets again. Alright, let's finish this. I'm gonna feel this loss in my bones for quite a while, I guess. But I got straight back to work and started the second machine. Now working with TNT tubers is actually easy, but also kinda annoying, since you can't just AFK till it's done. I always have to check like every 5 to 10 minutes to see if there is any water or lava which has to be removed. But a whole day of work and 6 hours of running machines later and the hole was done. Alright, this just took 6 hours. But we have a pretty big hole now, in which I just need to build a nether now. Now this is where things get interesting. I definitely won't spend hours building a nether from scratch, risking a bad looking outcome after hours spent building. Instead, I picked different parts from the real nether in a creative world and smashed them together in a hole. Then used world edit to make it all fit together, and finally did some smoothing and the basic nether shape was done. And by turning that into a Lightmatica schematic, I can build this weird shape layer by layer in my hardcore world. And now that we have a blueprint of the raw nether I'm going to build in here, we just need to get all that netherrack, which are about 45k of netherrack. That's 13 double chests and 26 shulker boxes. Yeah, that's actually doable. However, one pickaxe won't do the job. And since I lost my tool shulker box earlier, I once again gotta make some more pickaxes. Luckily, I still got a bunch left in here. No, here, no, here. So let's go to our giant enchantment table, into the library. Let's start by combining some of them first. Well, at least I didn't lose the shulker box here. Yeah, I'ma fix that later. And let's use my armor factory to turn the fortune one into netherite again. Gonna duplicate that, press that. Nice, we got a fortune pickaxe again. Alright, let's grab a totem and farm some netherite. And of course I will farm at Y level 15 to also get the chance of some ancient debris. You gotta be kidding me. Phew! Alright, we got all these shulker boxes filled with netherrack. Nice. We even got some in here, some in here. And I already started collecting some blackstone, since I will need that later too. And as you can see, I made just enough pickaxes. Like, this is the last pickaxe I have. It has a little bit left, but yeah, we got all the netherrack we need. So it's time to return back home and build an entire nether. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, I managed to get exactly 30 ancient debris from this giant hole. I don't know if that's many or not. Let me know in the comments. But I think I got pretty lucky with 30 ancient debris. Anyways, let's get home. Alright, let's build this nether. Alright, even though I built this with Lightmatica, this still took 3 hours. I got this much netherrack left. Oh boy, this thing looks absolutely crazy. I mean, from the inside, it's just a basic nether. But from the outside, this looks pretty funny. And it seems like I made the hole just a little too big, but that's fine though. Now, when coming up with this video idea, I actually didn't figure out an order in which I will build this big project. I mean, we could continue building the portal on top now, or we just finish this nether first. And I think I will do just that. So let's start with the most annoying part of this nether first, which is to add the lava lake, at least for this part of this nether. And I should also repair my pickaxes again, yeah. Well, we all know lava is not stackable, and that's quite a big lake. So with the tools repaired, I got a bunch of iron to make a full shulker box of buckets. That's 432 lava. And after getting some fire rest potions and expanding their duration with some redstone, it took about 10 minutes to fill all the buckets, which got me this far. So 2 more times getting lava and a lot of empty buckets later, the lava lake was done. I will never do this again. Oh my gosh, this took way too long. Did I miss any? Nope. I don't think so. Do you know what actually feels really weird? That's weird. I just slept in the nether. Look at that, we got a lava lake in the overworld. This is crazy. Alright, we still got some lava buckets left for some lava coming out of the walls and dripping off the roof. Come on, buddy. But now, let's continue with some more easy tasks to make this nether look like an actual nether. Starting by getting a lot of nether ores, and by a lot, I mean a lot. I also came across this random ancient debris. That's gotta be rare, right? I didn't collect any glowstone since I can just grab the glowstone dust from my raid farm and turn them into blocks. Now I just need to add all the ores to the nether, add some glowstone, as well as some more lava. And for at least a little bit of contrast, I also added some gravel to one side of the lava lake and finished the terrain with some magma blocks. And this nether is starting to look like an actual nether. Now that looks more like a nether now. But we're definitely missing one thing. This nether needs a structure too. So let's just head into the real nether again and get a structure. Which obviously is going to be a fortress. So let's get a beacon down first. Wait, this is not working in the nether. I gotta break bedrock on top. Yeah, I'm too lazy for that. Well, turns out you don't have to break the bedrock. Gotta admit I was too lazy to find out. Let's get some nether bricks. Wait a minute, don't I have nether bricks in there? Like piglins trade them, right? Oh my, but that's not a lot though. But I know there's still a bunch of, yeah, look at that. There's still a bunch of shulker boxes unloading. Yeah, look at that. And this one should be full as well, yeah. Let's quickly get all the nether bricks from the shulker boxes. Alright, I don't think that's enough, but let's start with that. What about storage though? Yeah, just 25. Alright, let's see how far this gets us.
Hello. Hi.
Oh! I almost landed there. Well, I was expecting to get a little further with almost one shulker box. So... Alright, pickaxe almost broken, and this better be enough now. Fuck. Yeah, and of course I got way too many left now. But hey, we got a fortress in here now, and it looks pretty dope. We just need to figure something out for the blaze spawner over there. And yeah, guess we can add all the fire now. I was running low on flint though, and with my only 2 shovels having silk touch, I decided to make a new shovel with fortune to refill my flint stock quickly. Oh yeah, I will fix that later. 16 flint and steel are probably way too many. At least I got some flint again. Time to blaze some fire. I think for now I'm happy with how this nether looks. Still have a couple of ideas in mind of what to add to this nether, which I will maybe add later on in this video. Now, let's just focus on building the actual portal on top. So let's just grab a bunch of dirt again and start building the frame of the portal. And it's also about time to finally remove these flying machines. Alright, let's also grab a bunch of grass again, because there's one final thing I want to do before actually building the portal, which is to fix the terrain all around the portal. And as always, this took way longer than I expected it to take. But it doesn't look that weird anymore. We got the frame on top now and all the grass around. But while terraforming, I also realized I have to fill these gaps. Just like that. Yeah, that's fine. At least this only took 10 minutes. But now we can finally start building the portal and make this project look complete. And since we're not building an ordinary end portal, but build an end portal which is nether themed, we need a few different red blocks. Starting with some more netherrack, some red concrete, red terracotta, which I should have in my old storage system. Oh, yeah, no, we don't have any terracotta left. I really love that it only takes 1 layer beacon to insta-mine terracotta, but the beacon's reach is just terrible. I mean, look at how close I am to the beacon. And yeah, no more haste for me. I think 2 shulker boxes is a good amount to start with though. We also need a good amount of mangrove logs, which is an absolute pain to farm. So let's move on to the next block because I think I'm gonna build a farm for this one. For which we need a diamond toe. That one is almost broken. Doesn't matter because I will fix that later. I'm gonna put some efficiency and breaking and of course mending onto that hoe. Just a quick repair needed. Into the nether we go and farm a bunch of that stuff. Oh, gee. Oh no. Guys, that was pretty close. We also need some black wool, black stone. This is probably not enough. Wait a minute. Aha! Oh my. Whoa. I wasn't expecting that many. And the final thing needed is some black concrete, which I think I should have. There we go. A shulker box left in here from building a giant void. Right, final thing needed is, the mangrove wood for which I need a farm. Which is the only replay file that got corrupted in this video. However, the farm wasn't even working properly due to the location I picked. See, mangrove saplings always have the same spot on a block. This only changes if the block's position changes too. And the position I choose for the farm couldn't be any worse, since the sapling is as far away as possible from the player. So I had to change the AFK spot a little to reach the sapling again, resulting in getting damaged by the TNT. So setting up a beacon was necessary, but on top of all that, the farm wasn't even running efficiently. So I decided to use mangrove planks instead of stripped mangrove logs, since I'd get 4 times the blocks that way. But now it's finally time to start with the portal. That's 3 done, 9 more to go. However, I was already running low on materials, so it's time for a quick restock. Starting by killing a squid to get black concrete powder to duplicate at the sand duper, just to realize there's still tons of black concrete powder left at the sand duper. Boy, no one told me that there's still so much black concrete powder left in here. Just need to convert powder into concrete at the concrete converter and do the same for red concrete. I definitely don't have to worry about blackstone. Got another 2 shulkers of black wool, more netherrack, and terracotta. Had a little incident while repairing my pickaxe. And now there was only nether wart block and mangrove planks left, which I this time actually farmed manually using my hoe to go top down, since that way it was way more comfortable and the farm I built isn't efficient. It worked for the crimson trees though. Just had to get some fungi. But now, let's finish the portal. Yes, the eyes are missing. But that's because I have to grab some gold first. So I AFK'd for about 1 hour at the gold farm, turned all the nuggets into ingots and into gold blocks, just a few other yellow blocks needed, and now I can do this. Now this is gotta be my favorite project I've ever done. I mean, I absolutely love the view from up here. Look at that. This is just amazing. It's a bit lifeless though, so let's just change that and put some striders inside there. So we need a bit of obsidian, we also need a fishing rod. We should have some name tags, yep, right there. We also need a saddle, let's just get a few. Let's set up a portal right here. Get into the nether, so we get a good spawn. That's not a good spawn. Let's try that again. That's not too bad. Look at that, we already got one here. We also need a fungus. There we go. Come over here, please. Yes, don't take a shower. Alright, let's just get some blocks. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, which guy do I need to ride? Is it you? Yeah, no. Yeah, at least I'm fire resistant for half a minute now. Grab a new totem though. Alright, how do I get my saddle back? Let's make sure I won't fall again. There we go, got the first strider. Let's get a few more. I got like 3 more striders when I returned to the overworld to a thunderstorm. Turns out they die in rain. Well, guess we don't get any striders in here. Wait, I have an idea. Let's get a bunch of glass. And let's use some scaffolding in the corners. As high as it can get. There we go. This looks a little funny. And let's build a platform of glass and the height limit, so the striders won't die when it's raining. Alright, it's raining scaffolding, but yeah, it should fix the problem now. But let's get back to getting some striders in here. And I actually think if I move the portal a little, break that, let's put it in here. Where the heck am I? Okay, let's not move the portal again. Alright, there. Whoa, okay. We made it worse. And that's one. Me buddy. That's two. Wait, can we just get some of that fungus and breed them? Wait, we can breed them. Okay, yo, we don't need to get any more because I can just breed them. It took a while to install that roof up there. So yeah, do me a favor and don't die. Alright, last thing I want to do is to take care of the terrain around the portal. Because yeah, the terrain looks too much man-made. So let's just fix this with some trees. Alright, I'll be back once all the trees grew, because I'm too lazy to go through and yeah, bone meal all the trees now. Forget what I just said. I actually went through and bone mealed all the trees by hand. But I think that's a good amount of trees. Whenever I want to go to the Nether now, I can just do this. Please tell me this transition looked good. I also need a regular portal to get to the Nether though. There we go. But that's probably it for this episode. All my projects have one thing in common. At some point I always need tons of dirt for terrain work. And oh boy am I tired of getting dirt by hand. So let's change that by building an automatic dirt factory, which will supply me with more dirt than I will ever need. And the farm which actually does the work is designed by Encrypted, who came up with an absolute banger of a farm design, making an automatic dirt factory way less complicated than they usually are. We need redstone though, a ton of redstone. And I don't want to build a classic witch farm generating around 240 redstone per hour, which makes it only 2k for a whole night of AFK. Or I use my raid farm for other unsafe reasons. So I decided to spend 4 hours void trading with clerics to get 9 full shulker boxes of redstone. That's 15k. And after turning almost all the redstone dust into blocks, I started collecting and crafting the materials I need for the farm, including 407 pistons, 304 observers, 171 hoppers, 8 dispensers, and 160 honey blocks, for which I manually farmed and bred my bees for 2 hours straight, which doesn't even include the 41 honey blocks I yoinked from my old sorting system. Phew, I finally got all the honey I need. This took, I think 2 hours. But let's start building the farm, and since we're making it a factory, let's start by getting rid of this unfinished factory. So let's set up a beacon right here. Put on some haste, and let's get rid of this thing. Of course, bricks are not insta-mined. Oh my... Alright, now to make the farm actually fit inside the building, we need to dig a hole, which I've already marked out right here. So let's just quickly... Boom! Alright, so after these weird sound effects, let's start building the farm, which basically was straightforward following the blueprint. And if you wanna build the farm for yourself, make sure to build the bubble columns first before building the leaf removers, otherwise the farm will break. Alright, I spent 1 hour building the thing, plus an additional hour making sure everything works just fine, and setting up the farm with tons of bone meal, for which I also had to AFK a little at the wither skeleton farm. Let's just hope that this masterpiece of redstone engineering is working. Alright, the farm seems to work beautifully, amazing, great, and I don't have any other words for that. Aber ich kann zu Deutsch wechseln und sagen, dass ich es geil finde, keine Erde mehr farmen zu müssen. And let's check the box. What the? Why? Huh? Well, what's wrong with the sorting system? Oh, that looks like I misplaced some hoppers there. There we go. And I definitely didn't expect this farm to produce that many spruce logs. But now let's build a factory around that thing and also add some nice decorative features. Right, anyways, usually if I build projects like that, I design them first in a creative world, which this time I didn't. Which is why I framed the whole build first, and as you can see, this time I also want to make use of this triangular roofs factories used to have, which I didn't last time when building this factory, which I absolutely ruined the roof by using bamboo. Yeah, don't ask me why I choose to use bamboo back then, but let's make it better this time. And since I should have plenty of blackstone left from last episode, let's just use all that to build the factory. Oh no. Guess what I just did? I mean, first of all, this looks pretty good without being designed beforehand. But yeah, I made one of the most annoying mistakes. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps. 1, 2, 3 gaps. Yeah, this whole side is 1 block short. Alright, let's tear down this side and build it again. Alright, visually nothing changed, but at least it's symmetrical now. So let's just quickly roll another time lapse and finish designing the front. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh, that's a bit close. Okay, yeah, there you go. Time lapse time. Let's go. That works. Now this giant hole in the front is basically for a pixel art of a dirt block. And yeah, I should do this, but I definitely should do this way more often. Building things without preparing in a creative world, it's way more rewarding. Let's get some windows for that thing. Alright, I need some white dye. Glass is not the problem here. Nice, look at that. Now I also want to add some sort of window on the roof. Something like that. Make it look even better. Bruh. Now that's a window I'm happy with. Let's also finish these roofs real quick. Look at that. Now this factory is taking shape. And for the sides, I think I'm gonna build the exact same thing as I did right here. Let me sleep first. Come on. Let me sleep. Go to bed. Yes, I'm definitely happy with that. Alright, but for the rest of the build, I am pretty sure I don't have enough blackstone left. Which is why I did some AFKing at the gold farm earlier. I am stuck in the loading screen. Why am I stuck in the loading screen? Oh my gosh. I've seen people lose hardcore worlds that way. A shulker should be enough to start with. Give me that blackstone. Let's get that blackstone and finish the factory. There we go, factory almost done. I didn't do this side yet, just so I can do this. Or this. Or that. Or this. There we go. And I'll let you decide which jump cut was the best. And the final thing we need to do is to fit in the pixel art right here, which is the only thing of this whole build, which I actually prepared in a creative world, but I gotta get some materials to build that. Nice. Now I may or may not change the black concrete with black terracotta, but let's also check out the inside of this factory. Yeah, there is a lot of work to do in here. But let's procrastinate by adding a bit more to the outside of the factory. Because this time I also want to add this glass void trick around the building, making it look like brown liquid around the factory. Then blend it into the plains biome with some coarse dirt, just so the factory doesn't look like it's standing in the middle of nowhere. Just like my first factory does. So let's quickly prepare the area around the factory, for which I just had to grab the dirt this time. And then I dug a hole around the building to fill with orange and brown glass layers, and whoever guesses the correct amount of minutes digging this hole took me gets pinned in the comments. The only hint you get is the durability of my tools. But digging all that was just step 1. Step 2 is to fill all that with glass. And I do believe, yeah, we don't have that much glass left. Before I spend hours void trading for glass again, I will use this glowstone and place it on the ground layer because the first layer has to be a light source. And finish the hole by adding more blackstone to the inner wall and coarse dirt to the outer wall before blending the hole into the biome with even more coarse dirt. Alright, now for the glass, which is exactly 9 layers. That's a lot of glass. And to top it all, we also need to dye the glass. We need brown dye and we need orange dye, which is no problem because we have unlimited supply of poppies and yellow dye is easy duplicatable. Anyways, let's first check how this looks. We start with brown, orange, brown, and so on. There we go. We can't see the glowstone. Alright, roll the montage. This is gonna take a while. Oh. Alright, just 2 layers left. I only have this much glass left, but I think I'm gonna use the power of editing for this. So, there we go. And I gotta say, that was a pretty nice idea. I don't quite like the sharp edges though, so... And let's go around and add some grass too, but also make sure to remove all the tall grass and all the flowers. There we go. Small change, huge difference. But now it's time to start doing the inside. And since it is a dirt factory, let's start by making the floor with brown concrete. And let's just also make some brown carpet to handle the mob problem in here. With some glowstone. Alright, we got the light in here again. Let's also fill all these gaps with some bricks. Already looking better, and I think for these 3 gaps, let's get some walls and make it look like these are the support beams of the building. I'm liking that. There we go. Let's add even more in this corner. I will definitely need more blackstone. And I'm probably gonna die doing this. Oh, yep, there you go. Why did I make flight duration 3 rockets? Like, there are always so many comments suggesting to make flight duration 3 rockets, but yeah, what you just saw is exactly the reason why I used to make flight duration 1 rockets. Also add some beams right here. And now please tell me that this is looking good. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's quickly roll the montage and make the whole build look like that. You mother... Alright, this is looking pretty good already. Now, I was thinking about building something around the farm itself too, but I just kind of like the really open style this factory has now. And I didn't do this side yet. Once again, let's just do a jump cut. There we go. And now I actually want to add 2 of these item waterfalls for which we need a ton of honey blocks. Probably one right there and one right there since, yeah, there are no windows. Makes sense, right? But yeah, like I said, we need a bunch of honey blocks and I definitely won't spend another 2 hours wasting my time getting honey blocks manually. So let's just wait for nighttime so the bees will get all in there. No, that's pretty convenient. Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to risk my giant build over here to burn down, so let me just quickly go to bed. Let's get into that library. I still didn't fix that. And get some silk touch onto my axe. Alright, now we still have to wait for nighttime. Wait, I just slept. That's gonna take 10 minutes. Alright, it's now nighttime, and the fact that there are still bees flying around tells me that all the hives should be full with at least 3 bees. Alright, let's go build a honey farm, which my giant brain chose to build right next to my gold farm. So whenever I go AFK here, I not only get honey, but also gold, and the sorting system from piglin bartering inside the piglin head is also running. And then I went AFK for a couple of hours. Alright, let's see. Now that's a lot of honey bottles. Yeah, nice. It should definitely be enough. And the farm is probably also running low on bottles. But let's first make all the honey blocks. Let's go. Now that's probably more than enough honey blocks. What the?
Oh no!
Wait, what? Why is there a hole here? How did a creeper explode right here? I guess black and gray is mixed now. But now let's build an item waterfall right here. Bring out a wall right here first. We also need to dig a little bit of a hole right here. There we go. Now we also need to make the backside flush again. So let's remove this pillar again. There we go. We also need some packed ice. Right, packed ice goes right here. Pressure plates on top. Now for the honey blocks, which should go right here. Yeah, let's bring up these walls. Bring up the honey blocks. Oh, I can't jump on honey blocks. There we go. Do I want blackstone behind that honey blocks? Let's just try some dirt blocks. Polished blackstone bricks it is. There we go. Let's actually remove these stone pressure plates so they won't make any noise when items go over them. Now we need the droppers right here. Let's add some observers on top of them. Hoppers behind. Some slabs in front of the first row of honey. Let's close that in just like that. Can even fill in these gaps. Fence gates in front. Now we need water. We need water down here. Let's maybe add some slabs right here as well. We also need water right here. There we go. And lastly, we need water right here. Move the dirt again. Let's add a 1 stack to each dispenser. There we go. That's 1 stack of dirt going into each dropper. Let's add some blocks above the water right here too. Add soul sand at the bottom. Make it source blocks with some kelp. And break it again. There we go. Alright, let's get rid of all the kelp. Here we go. And if I'm not mistaken, we now add the observers on top. Add some more slabs so we don't see them. We should have a working item waterfall. Nice. But yeah, we need to build that thing again. So let's go. Alright, I have some good news and also some bad news. Now the good news, both of the water item things, elevator, waterfalls.
What?
Yeah, are both working. And I think I didn't put too many items in there just so that it looks. Bad news though, I usually plan to add even more details and things into this factory, even though I like this open spaced style of this factory. But I have a festival to catch and I want to get this video out before that. So that's gonna be it for today's episode. So I recently built this giant Nether themed end portal, which looks absolutely amazing from up here. And no, this is not a sketchy editing trick. I legitimately spent hours building an entire Nether down here. And you guys want me to build the same in the Nether now. However, building an overworld themed end portal in the Nether requires to remove a huge amount of bedrock. This entire area to be exact. Yeah, that's a lot. Luckily, there are these crazy bedrock breaking machines nowadays. I'd rather delete my hardcore world than trying to understand how they work. The only problem, I need this many pistons. Except 5 times that. That's about 60k, which is not only 60,000 redstone I need, but also 60,000 iron. For the redstone, I already AFK'd for about 20 to 30 hours at my raid farm, which is now completely filled to the brim, and also the reason why my level is this high. But the iron? Yeah. That's what this video is for. And to make a boring iron farm a video worthy project, let's build it inside the world's biggest iron golem, reaching from the ground all the way up to almost height limits. And just so that I know how many materials I need, I built it first in a creative world, which took me no more than 4 hours. Alright, let's see what we're dealing with. Oh shit. Okay, I don't mind the high amount of concrete or wool, but the 25k of quartz blocks I need. Now there are 3 methods which come in consideration on how to get the 13 shakers of quartz blocks. Number 1 is the classic way, manual mining in the Nether. Number 2, AFK at the gold farm to barter with piglins, but since I know with the raids my gold farm produces, the amount of gold I get in 1 hour is only enough for 1 shaker box of quartz, which is only about 7 stacks of quartz blocks. I won't do that. And number 3, trading, which is probably the best way to go. But let's see how much quartz I can get with 1 hour of manual farming. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, the results are in. So 1 hour farming quartz got me, yeah, almost a shulker box of quartz blocks. But since we need 13 shulker boxes, yeah, farming manually isn't gonna work. Wait, don't I have... Oh! Well, I actually expected this to be a little bit more than just 5.5 stacks. Anyways, at least we got a full shulker box now. But yeah, I think I must stick with trading, since that way we will probably get 20k of quartz the fastest. So yeah, let's just quickly build a setup right here, for which we first gotta make a new flat area. Let's also grab some materials, as well as a bunch of emerald blocks. There we go. And let's start by rebuilding the villager breeder, since I will definitely need way more than that villagers. Alright, we got the new breeder. I might just need to grab some food for them, and then we can build all the stations for the masons. So I might just grab some bread from these guys. Gimme. Alright, there you go. I need a hopper. This is where I will put all the minecarts. There we go. Make more babies, please. Fast. I need you. Alright, let's build some stations. And I think I will simply do... That's it. That's a station. Alright, this doesn't look like much. Just some funny placed emerald blocks. Let me just quickly show you how this is gonna work. Let's make some minecarts first. Put them in here. So if I now flick this lever, all the villagers will come through the glass, and I can then push a minecart. There we go. Oh wait, yeah, I should probably continue the rails. There we go. And I will then place this in front, which I will do for all these gaps. So we gotta wait for them to breed a bit more. And yeah, then we also have to level up all the villagers, because they gotta be master to sell the quartz blocks. So while waiting for the villagers to breed, I laid down all the rails and caught some stray villagers, which I also leveled up to master, and then there was nothing else to do than just wait for the villagers to breed. So about 30 minutes later, and all the beds were occupied. So I started putting the villagers into their spots, 3 at a time, because my timing skills are amazing. Just had to place all the stone cutters to turn them into masons, and get some more bread so the villagers will breed again. Believe it or not, but it almost took an hour to level up all the villagers to masters, and I'm only halfway done setting up all the trading. Of course, I already started getting quartz blocks, but my main focus was still to get all the villagers set up and up to level master, which I went straight back onto when I was done with the first half. And almost another hour later, I could finally start trading for quartz blocks. I even set up a macro key to instantly do the trade. I just had to enter and exit the trade. Believe it or not, but it only took me 1 hour to get 12 additional shulker boxes filled with quartz. Adding 2 hours of setting all that up, but hey, I didn't have to mine 13 hours straight to get quartz manually. However, all that quartz needs to be smelted too. So let's just quickly grab some materials again and build a super smelter right here. Oh, yeah, I've actually built 3 super smelter. And for the fuel, I yoinked all the coal blocks from my old smelter inside the old base. Also went to the wither skeleton farm to get a few more, and divided all coal blocks by 3 to put them into the smelters. Wait, where? I think the fuel goes right here. Just had to use some hoppers to unload the shulkers and wait. Let's just let that run. Look at that. Alright, I'ma quickly grab a snack, and let's just hope that I put enough fuel in there. I was gone for about an hour before I returned to finished furnaces. Just had to grab all the smooth quartz now, and we can check off the quartz from the list. Now the rest of the materials were all pretty straightforward. Starting off with about 7,000 of white concrete, for which I just replaced the blocks at the sand duper with white concrete and AFK'd there for a while. I'm also making sure to always mine obsidian when I AFK here. Then turn all the concrete powder into concrete at the converter, except not all powder, since I also need about 14k of powder. And with the concrete off the list, let's get the 11k of white wool, which I thought was no biggie too, since I got this automatic wool farm on the ground. We also need about 7 shulker boxes of white wool. There's one in here, and that's definitely not 7 shulker boxes. Yep, that's only about 3.5. I guess it's time to breed some sheep then. So let's also go and enchant some shears. Yeet. Oh, yeah, I'ma fix that later. Wait, you can't put fortune onto some shears? I thought that's a thing. And let's go breed some sheep. For which I just dug a pit to breed and shear the sheep for almost 2 hours straight to finally end up with 7 shulkers of white wool. Alright, that's it. We almost got 7 shulker boxes of white wool, but that's enough now. Oh my gosh, that's so many materials. Anyways, let's get even more shulker boxes, because we also need to get a bunch of terracotta. And after dyeing some of the terracotta, I could check off all the terracotta from the list. Just had to get some lime, red, light grey and black concrete, as well as green and yellow wool and snow blocks. And the only item missing was about 1k of string, which I tried getting by using a string loop. Now let me tell you, this is where I almost lost my hardcore world. Let me explain. I couldn't get the string duper running even though I tried building it facing every direction. I then thought the mods I'm using may be the reason for the duper to not work. So I created a new installation on 1.20.1 to play without mods. But instead of starting the installation I just created, I unintentionally started the new version 1.21. So first of all, how did I not realize the new trial chambers in the background? But as I entered my world and this showed up, I noticed. I just updated my world without even wanting to. So I started the 1.20.1 this time and created a backup before downgrading my world again. But while downgrading, the game decided to crash. So to make sure I don't lose my world yet, I made another backup manually. Should have done that in the first place. Started the game in 1.21, entered my world and... No. My world was still there, but all items, including every chest and even item frames, were gone. Thank God I made a backup, which I joined with 1.21, and everything was just fine. I just had to get all the mods I use for 1.21 now, which luckily were all updated at this point. Well, at least I got the string duper running in 1.21. Alright, that should be enough. And just like that, we should have all the materials we need to build the giant golem. Alright, and the place to build the golem is right here, because I thought I can turn that into an island. I mean, I just gotta get rid of a little bit of terrain right here, just like that. And I actually had the idea to split the golem's body and let the wheel decide which part will be built first. So let's just go ahead and spin the wheel for the first time. Guess we're going to build the left leg first. Oh boy, I had no idea how huge this golem is going to be. I mean, that's just a leg. Look at that. That's my factory. Like, this golem is going to be huge. But let's just go ahead and spin that wheel again. Right arm it is. Now I guess building the head would be the funniest now. Yeah, I'ma build the head anyway. Oh boy, everything looks so small from up here. Look at my giant enchantment table. It looks so small from up here. I mean, whenever I need to go down to the chest right here, it literally takes me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it takes me 5 rockets to get up here. And as you can see in the background, maybe right there, that's height limit. But let's not waste any time. So let's spin the wheel. Left arm it is. And there we go. Giant golem done. And it is not only the biggest iron golem, but probably also once again one of the most over-the-top mob farms. Yeah, look at that. Look at all the mobs in here. Wait, this thing actually looks pretty cool from the inside. Alright, now it's time to actually build the iron farm inside that giant golem. Wait a minute. Where did my toolbox go again? No. No, please don't tell me I lost my toolbox again. Thank God it's here. Oh God. Ugh. Alright, grab a few shulker boxes and get some stuff for the iron farm. And after spending almost 10 minutes just crafting oak and crimson fence gates, I was only missing about 1k of blue ice, which I can get about 5,000 blocks away from home. There we go, but that's packed ice though, right? Oh yeah, that's all packed ice. Where do I get blue ice from? Wait a minute, am I actually this stupid? Yeah, of course you gotta craft it. Well, actually, I think I can just use packed ice. What is even the benefit of blue ice? Let's get back home. It's time to build the iron farm inside that body. maybe put a temporary hole up here. Oh, I just popped the totem. I was just about to grab some more torches. Let's do some mob cleanup. Oh. No! Alright, no more mobs. I think we can now start with the foundation of the iron farm. So yeah, let's go. Let me quickly fix. Let me quickly build that. Yeah, let's go. I'ma be honest, I thought this is a 20-minute job. In fact, it took about an hour. And yeah, I didn't even put in all the lava yet. So let's quickly go to the nether. Wait, don't we? Yeah, we do have a lot of lava left in here. I don't even need to go to the... Yeah, look at that. Nice. This is all left over from building that huge thing. And just like that, we have all the lava in place. But now, before we actually continue building the iron farm itself, I'm gonna use some dirt blocks and set up a villager breeder, because we also need a ton of villagers for this farm. Let's just use this arm right here. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I guess I gotta do a fix right here. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably way too overkill. I definitely don't need this many villagers. Anyways, before we bring two up here to start breeding them, yeah, I'ma quickly fix that oopsie I did here on the left arm. There we go, and last one. Nice. Now where do I get two villagers from now? Well, due to the extreme height of the golem, I decided to get the villagers via nether portals. There was also a plains village nearby, so I just had to connect some portals and bring at least two villagers from one portal to the other, which was done quick with some rails, a boat and a minecart. Alright, so you guys continue reproducing, and I'm gonna go and finish the island. You guys are gonna spend the rest of your lives spawning iron golems. Now I'm definitely not looking forward into bringing all them into their spots. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of pain. We'll need a few more dirt for that too. And a bunch of rails. Don't I have? Look at that. Alright, let's get some dirt and build a roller coaster. Alright, we got the roller coaster in place. Just gotta add some glass at the end right here. This activator rail is active. All the others are inactive. And now I should be able to send the first minecart. Actually, it should be 3 already. There should be no issue with that. Okay, let's see if this is working. There's one. Wait, where's the other two? Okay, at least that worked. Where did they go? Oh. Oh. Here they come. This just worked just great. Alright, remove that. Put the slab right there. So I can remove the glass. Activate that one. Place the glass. And send 3 more villagers. 1, 2, 3. Now this is gonna take a while. 1 platform down. 3 more to go. Alright, this is the last one, and to be honest, this was actually a quite enjoyable process because it just worked so flawlessly. Just have to build this little platform, activate the activator rail, place the glass, push the button 3 times. The hardest part is to land on that platform and then just break all the minecarts. There we go. Replace this activator rail with a slab, and that's it. We got all the villagers in place, which means we now need to add the pillagers into these cauldrons. Now the big question now is, where do I get some pillagers from? Now since I didn't save any raid patrol pillagers, I had to get some from the outpost about 1,000 blocks away. But let's kill all the villagers first. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. Next up, rebuild the portal and get the coordinates of the outpost to set up another portal in the nether. And now, get at least 4 pillagers through the portal. Let's go. Oh! Get in here, yes. Come on. Don't shoot the horse. Okay, I guess one is in. Come on, there we go. Oh no. Let's also give them some names. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Oh, oh, ouch. Ow, ow. Oh no, my bad. Don't shoot each other, please. Just gotta make sure they don't kill each other trying to shoot me. Oh gosh, and it just happened. Let's get another one later. Let's start by building the roller coaster for the pillagers. Let's hope this is working. And in he goes. Break that. Place a slab right there. Redstone block right here. Wait, what? Aha. There is a slab missing right there. Can you...
Nope.
I gotta wait for night. Let me just quickly... Whoa! Okay, you got some skill, my dude. Anyways, you gotta be trapped in here now. Right, roller coaster removed, go to bed, and officially start the iron farm for the first time. And let's see. Oh, it's looking good. Golems are spawning, but they are supposed to spawn at the same time. The villagers have all slept at least once. Yeah, they are still not spawning at the same time. There's something off here. Oh my gosh, okay. I think it started working a little better. It just dropped like 20 iron golems. That looked good. That looked very good. I only think that I will put like torches on all the green stuff just so that there won't spawn any mobs. This was quite fun. Look at all the iron golems. Yeah, burn. Okay, that was quite evil. Let's check the chest down here. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, there's just a collection area missing right here. So here we go, which is actually a shulker box loader already. The iron comes from up here, goes into the sorting system, so all the puppies will end up in these two chests, and once the shulker box is full, it will end up in here. Now the final thing to finish the farm is to test run it, which I did for about an hour, resulting in 5 full shulker boxes already. If the farm works like it should, it produces roughly 10,000 iron per hour, so I should have all the iron I need within a 6-hour AFK session. For comparison, my old iron farm produces around 300 iron per hour, which would take a whopping 200 hours to produce 60k iron. But with the iron farm now done, I did some cleanup, put back all the shulker boxes, and then started working on making the island the golem is standing on a bit more pleasing to look at. I mean, look at that. Yeah, that's terrible. Starting off by expanding the river a bit so the island is standing out a bit more, and then going over the terrain and do some smoothing, which is always quite fun to me, because the process itself is easy and the result is always satisfying. It's crazy how 1 hour of playing Minecraft can feel like 10 minutes. Terraforming this island actually took 1 hour, but since I enjoyed the process, it only felt like 10 minutes. And then there's other things like farming endstone, which feels like an hour when it's only been 10 minutes. And of course I forgot to turn back on the farm while terraforming the island. I don't even know why I turned it off in the first place after the 1 hour test run. The farm is running great though, but that pretty much wraps up this episode. So in the next episode, well, you guys already know what I'm gonna do in the next episode. I'm pretty sure I got one of the coolest ways of entering the Nether. I just have to fly into this portal. And there we go, I'm in the Nether. But now it's time to build this right here. But compared to the portal I already built, this project is going to be a lot more work. Mainly because I have to remove this much bedrock. So I must split this process into 3 steps, starting by removing a huge area of bedrock using a bedrock breaking machine, and then remove the nether below so we actually have room to build an overworld. In step 2, design and build the overworld portal frame, and in the final step 3, build the overworld inside the portal. So let's just start by preparing everything we need for the bedrock breaking machines. Now since the machine needs 60k of pistons to remove all the bedrock, I already AFK 20 to 30 hours at my raid farm to get all the redstone and build a new and better iron farm inside this giant golem last episode to get all the iron I need within a 6-hour AFK session. Just have to get 180k of planks, which is 45k of logs. So I filled up my dark oak tree farm with some bone meal and hope it is still running in 1.21. Which luckily it does. Just one minecart somehow moved over time. And since this farm produces 20 to 30k per hour, it only took about 2 to get all the wood I need. And the 240k cobble I got from my 75k per hour cobblestone generator. I then just brought all the redstone as well as all the iron, and if I did my math correct, that's over 500,000 items just to craft 60k of pistons. Now that I have all the materials to craft the pistons, I need to craft them, but there's no way I will craft them manually. This would just take hours. Instead, I decided to build a Mango's Mass Crafter, which required to get a few materials and a bit of AFKing at the honey farm to get a few more honey blocks. Can I get some Lego building sounds, please? There we go. Now before I can actually use this mass crafter to craft all the pistons, I have to turn all the 45k of dark oak into planks. So I loaded up 4 of the 9 slots with dark oak shulkers and started mass crafting planks. And of course I was too lazy to build a collection system, so I did it manually every 3 minutes, and about 10 minutes later all the logs got crafted into planks and I could load up the mass crafter with all the materials to craft the pistons. That was actually quite painful to do, but I am done. Putting 35 shulker boxes into each slot. Everything should be filled. Yep, there we go. Which means if everything works fine, we should get 35 shulker boxes of pistons. And there we go. That's 7 rows of 5 shulker boxes. These are all empty filled, which means we got exactly 35 shulker boxes of pistons now. There we go. Time to get all the stuff for the actual machine. Alright, so this is the portal with which we enter the Nether, and yeah, my Nether roof is a mess. So we're gonna make the giant hole based off this portal. So it's gonna be somewhere around here, which unfortunately also means that yeah, my old portal and the shulker shell farm probably has to be destroyed, which is unfortunate, but there will be something way better once we're done with this project. But I think, let me do some cleanup right here real quick. Alright, there we go. We got a clean nether roof again and 2 squares which indicate where the hole will be. Now the inner square is going to be the final hole in this nether roof, and the outer square is for the machine itself, since the machine itself needs a 1 block gap on every side of the square to operate. That's first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and then 5th layer of bedrock, which is then going to be the final hole. So yeah, let's just roll some Lego building sounds and set up the machine. Phew. I've spent a lot of time making sure every single block is placed exactly where it should be, so I don't need to rebuild that thing again and it instantly breaks whenever I start it. But before I start it, we also gotta get rid of this stuff right here, because if it won't break by itself, these 2 things will definitely do. So yeah, let's clean that up real quick. Well, I just realized I could already start the machine while placing the pistons. This scares me even more than starting TNT machines back then when I did the other portal. I mean, I've checked this so many times, this just gotta work. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, this is looking good. Please just return. You gotta return, please. This is the easy part. If I made a mistake here, I would be pissed. Yes! Let's go! Alright. I can peacefully continue with the pistons. Damn, it's been some 3 long days, but I got a massive hole in my bedrock roof now. Look at that, nice. Which means we're now officially done 50% with the first phase of this project. Now we gotta start removing all that nether. Oh, Hello. And obviously we're gonna use TNT duper machines for that. The only problem, I can't just simply put them all on top right here now, because like I did with the other portal, I need to remove the entire nether below the whole portal frame. Which means not only this has to go, but also 32 blocks on every side of the hole, where still some bedrock needs to go too. And therefore we gotta manually remove about 15 layers of netherrack before we can then build all the TNT duper machines and run them so they won't get destroyed because they are built too close to the floor. But using my pickaxe only, yeah, that's not gonna work. So let's get back home real quick. Oh my, hey, you having the party without me? Yeah, I'ma leave you alone, okay? So let's start by grabbing a few more shulker boxes, get a bunch of gunpowder, dupe some sand, and craft some TNT, which is now definitely gonna help removing 15 layers of nether. Let's have some fun. Alright, I actually made a schematic, just so I can see what still needs to be removed, like all the magenta blocks still has to go, so the TNT duper machines work without any mistake, but for that I'ma just use my pickaxe. See you in a bit. About an hour later, and now we can start building the 41 TNT flying machines. But let's also get rid of this portal, because it's the final thing which is in the way of the TNT machines. And let's build it outside the hole, so it doesn't interrupt with the flying machines. I don't have any flint and steel left. Don't these guys trade gravel? Yes, they do. Alright, give me some... Here we go. And let's go grab some materials. Looks like the party is over, which wasn't too complicated at all, since it's mainly just a bunch of slime blocks and a few redstone components. So about 10 minutes later, and I found myself already building the 41 TNT flying machines, as well as the returning mechanisms. There we go, all 41 TNT dupers have been built, including the return stations. And I am still not quite sure if they are high enough. I definitely think some of them will break, since they are that close to the ground. Yeah, let's just see. Get to one side over here and start them real quick. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. I still have to place this one observer right there. There we go. Now let's turn them on. And instantly turn them off, so they only run once and we can remove the lava. And like I said, we already have 2 broken ones. There is another one. There's 2 more. Wait, maybe we can fix them. What about these 2? These look pretty... Yeah, this one only has a missing slime block. So I should be able to send it back like that. There we go. Alright, and that's a ton of lava I have to remove now. But I think it's easier to just rebuild them. There we go, all the machines have been repaired. So let's go ahead and run all the machines that broke once too. There are quite some blocks left over. I was expecting to get rid of all of that. Anyways, it is time to grab some buckets. That should do for now. And let's get rid of some lava. I need food. Ooh, that's definitely gonna be fun. Wait a minute. I should have some fire rest potions over here. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Let's go clean some lava. Oh no. That's not good. I just yoinked my, my sword. Gotta be somewhere around here. There it is. No. Oh, I got it. And that thing didn't return. Anyways, let's continue. Alright, I've just removed all the lava, at least all the lava I could see. I fixed the machine which was stuck over there, and once this machine is back at its slot, I think I'm gonna let the machines run a bit more to reveal the final lava spots and get rid of all the final blocks. And I also need to remove all these nether portals. There are a ton of nether portals around here. Alright, let's start the machines. Hope they won't break again. Come on. Oh. Alright, there we go. No machine broke. And let's also get rid of all the portals. And there we go, 5 days later, and phase 1 of this project is done. So let's just go and start designing the portal frame. Now obviously I used the old schematic of my Nether portal frame and started messing around with some block palettes in a creative world to find a fitting overworld theme. At first I really liked the mainly green styled design, but also figured out the brown dirt styled design, which I spiced up by adding some grass edges and adding a little more contrast with darker brown. I also tried adding some stone, but didn't like it at all, so I just ended up choosing this design. The hole is in a warp forest biome though, so they spawn enderman only, which until now was pretty convenient, since I had no mobs annoying me for the past 5 days. But since there is moss blocks in my design, an enderman can pick up moss. I don't want to ruin the design by making it all spawn proof, so I decided to add the data pack to my world, which disables endermans picking up blocks. Now I just have to get all the materials, and since I need a bunch of bone meal to get some of the materials, I started by AFKing about 2 hours at the wither skeleton farm to get tons of bone, and then went straight into another AFK session to get about 10k of spruce, of which I had to strip 5k. So I built this quick and easy contraption which makes the stripping process AFK. Turns out one netherite axe isn't enough to strip 5k of logs. So I went to my library, yeah, I will fix that later, and made another axe. Getting all the concrete was no problem at all, farmed all the terracotta, got even more dark oak, and spread and farmed a bunch of moss. There we go. And actually, one last block I need is about 300 gold blocks for the ice. But before we AFK the gold farm, let's check if there's still some gold left, which there actually was. Now that we have all the blocks we need to build the portal frame, it is time to build the portal frame. Yep, that definitely looks like an overworld themed portal frame, with that grassy thing on top, while still maintaining the texture of an actual portal frame. And for the last 3 sides, yeah, I'ma build them all at once. So yeah, let's go. There we go. I still didn't do the ice yet, because I will build them at the very end, but I'm definitely happy with the 3-dimensional look of these portal frames. But that means we're done with phase 2 of this project. So we gotta start building the overworld. And I think I'm gonna start by building a blue box inside there, which will end up being the sky, of course. So let's start by giving all the haters a reason to hate, and then prove them wrong. Wait, that's the wrong clip. That's the right one. But yeah, now that we have the skybox, I definitely still have to remove all that single bedrocks, but right now I'm definitely way too lazy for that. So let's just start figuring out what type of overworld I'm going to build in there. And just like with the Nether, I wanted to make the overworld look as natural as possible. So I searched for a good overworld part in a creative world when I came across this spot, which I thought is the perfect fit for the project. With the mesa, desert and forest biome, it just offers the perfect contrast to the brown and green portal frame. So I copied the spot, prepared it in a creative world to turn it into a schematic. I turned all the grass blocks into moss, since grass in the Nether looks like shit. Removed all the gravity blocks and turned all the sand into smooth sandstone, just so I can hollow the whole terrain, so it's also easy to build it, and getting all the materials isn't worth throwing much, since it's basically all just natural blocks. So let's just build the overworld. There we go, 3 hours later, and there are only details missing. But let's first start by filling these sky holes, and I think this video had enough time lapses already, so let's just do one of these. What? And do the same over here. What the fuck? Here we go. Oh my god, he cheated. Alright, details. Let's just start with all the trees. And as you can see, I exactly know where to place all the trees, but yeah, I don't have any saplings with me. This forest is bigger than I expected. Yep, I gotta grab some more saplings. Guess I gotta use some bone meal. There we go, forest done. Now let's grab some red sand. That's not much. Wait. Oh, that's been my last totem. I gotta grab some more totems. we go. Now let's go and dupe some red sand and gravel. Or we can place the red sand right here and gravel down here. Now let's do that real quick. Now, obviously, I can't just put water in here since, yeah, we are in the Nether, so there is just no water in here. But to get at least the look of water, I'm gonna use some glass, which I still have to get, and blue dye, of which I have none. Nice. So let's just get all that sand. I also brought some from duping. Not sure what one shulker box should do. Put that into the super smelter. And let's get some blue dye from the swamp nearby. Wait. No, that's light blue dye. We need those. Yeah, that one. And since I don't want to farm some lapis now, I think I might just have to build a flower farm. What the hell was I thinking? Like, I legitimately thought one shulker box is enough for that. Yeah, that's one shulker box. And I'm nowhere near done. I gotta get some more glass. Oh boy, I forgot to turn it on again. What the? What? Where did that guy come from? 2.5 more shulker boxes and the glass layer is finally done. And I gotta say, I'm actually quite surprised on how much this looks like water, even though it's glass. I would have loved to add some seagrass onto the gravel, but yeah, without any water, there will be no seagrass. Maybe you guys have any idea on what to put down there to replicate seagrass? I just want to get some sort of green stuff down there, so that area doesn't look that bland. But the final detail on all the terrain missing are the dead bushes. And maybe if I'm lucky, oh, that's not many, we definitely gotta get some more. Alright, and now we just need a ruined portal, and I'm thinking right here to actually get back to the overworld, because that portal over there is just temporary. So let's just fly around a bit and see if we can spot a ruined portal. Wait, that's a big one. Wait, this is the area where I got all the dead birds from. How did I not see this? Is it a big one? Why am I searching for a ruined portal though? I already have all the blocks. So let's just build one. Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, this should link up with the other portal. Let's go. Nice. Now, when I built this portal, a lot of you were annoyed that I just put a regular nether portal in there. But that was the whole joke of the video. Maybe I'll add a restore to ruined portal here in the future too. Oh yeah, and if you wonder how I get into the actual nether, it's just through this house. Now let's finally add all the ice, and the project is pretty much done now. There's by far nothing that took me longer than this project. 3 days or about 20 hours just to remove the bedrock, so I would highly appreciate if you hit the like button and leave a comment on this video. I still need to remove the bedrock bits right here, but I'm pretty sure that's a 2 to 3 hours job, and I gotta finish editing the video today. So I'll probably do it off camera, or cheat like haters would say, or simply just don't do it. I don't know. But I added clouds, which definitely was the cherry on top for this project. That's it for this video though. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Minecraft has many different ways of transportation. Boats, minecarts, horses, elytra, pigs. Although they are not quite the fastest. But this video is not about finding out which one is the fastest. For this video I want to build a 2000 blocks long hypertube, which gets me from my home area all the way to my end portal within seconds. Cause I'm starting to get annoyed by always having to fly over there. Traveling through the nether is also not an option, since entering a portal already takes 4 seconds and you have to do it twice. No, I want a practical way of transportation, which doesn't need any kind of interaction like buttons, levers, or waiting for something to charge. Just enter the hypertube and get accelerated so fast to end up 2000 blocks further within seconds. How do we achieve that? Some of you may already know, but let's start by grabbing some yellow and black wool and mark the line where the hypertube will be. Now I'll keep voiceovering a little more, since I've been really sick for the past 2 weeks, which I hated because I don't like tea and laying down all day. I have a new sofa though, so laying down was actually nice. I apologize for letting you wait so long for the next episode. I planned to record this video about 3 weeks ago, but yeah, back recording, knowing I can't use my voice much, I decided to start terraforming the area where the hypertube will start, which by the way is positioned at the center at my home area for the best possible access, and I don't need voice for terraforming. I also thought it's a good idea to not only build the projects of my videos, but also make the surroundings look good. I mean, look at that. Terrible. And then right here, that's much better. So here I am, doing not much, just enough to make the terrain look smooth and good. Hey yo, why is there a parrot? Dude, your home is like 2000 blocks away that way. How did you get here? Are you tamed? Oh, he's not tamed. Come on, buddy. I got 5 seats. There we go. Wanna help me build this hypertube? Are you still there? Oh, he's gone. Oh, there he is. You know what? You can sit right there. Alright, now for the hypertube, let's start by grabbing a bunch of white concrete, which I should have plenty left. Yeah, there we go. And let's start by building an actual tube. There we go. Should have made this black and yellow line in the middle. Yeah, that quite annoys me. Now we definitely need some sort of pillar or something that actually holds the entire hypertube. And I'm definitely taking inspiration from the Satisfactory hypertube here. I've actually never played Satisfactory, but I've seen videos. So let's just go and grab some materials and start by using some blackstone. Then some orange terracotta. Yeah, there we go. I need some orange wood. Turn that into some let's turn that into some oops, just so that I can make this orange ring look a little better. All right, I definitely need some scaffolding, which I don't have. Nice. What about string? Yeah, nice. All right, let's get me some bamboo, which I don't have right here, but I do have a farm for that. And let's make some scaffolding. Alright, let's also add some of these black parts using some more blackstone walls. And let's also make the inside orange. Maybe make the inside blackstone. And we also need some light, and the Satisfactory hypertube has this green light, so we're just gonna use some green frog light. So let's just add that on top right here. Maybe also at the sides. And remove these on the inside and fill these with some glass. Last thing we definitely need, what's going on with that block? Last thing that we're gonna need is, we definitely need to cover up these frog lights with some trapdoors. And I think since it's a green light, I'm gonna use any green trapdoor for that. And if I'm not mistaken, 1.21 added these copper trapdoors. And I haven't been to the trial chambers yet, so let's just use the need of copper trapdoors to finally go to the trial chambers. There is a bit of preparation that has to be done, since I definitely want a chest plate when I go to the trial chambers. And since I lost my chest plate in an older episode, we gotta make a new one. So let's just make a chest plate. Now let's go to my library. Oh. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'ma fix that later. Wait, is there anything else that goes onto the chest plate? Protection, unbreaking, mending. No, that's gotta be it. Only need to turn it into netherite. Netherrack. Press that. There we go. We need... Oh! Duplicate that. And then use this to upgrade. Boom. There we go. We got another right chest plate again. Oh, it's not trimmed though. We got another chest plate again. Alright, how do we find the trial chambers now? I'm pretty sure we need to cartography dude, whatever, that guy, which will actually give us a map to find the trial chambers. Alright, let's put him in here. If you haven't noticed yet, I've actually added the pressure animations mod to my world. Like, you can see the villagers walk a little fancier, which makes them also sit in minecarts, which is kind of funny though. Like, he's almost disappearing behind his profession block. All right, give me that map. Gotta level up that guy first. Yeah, I need some glass panes. Boom. Here we go. Trial Explorer map. Only a compass missing, which I have no idea how to craft. Probably some, yeah, redstone and iron. There we go. Let's buy 2. Wait, it's gonna be the same map, right? Yeah, of course it's the same map. And off we go. Into which direction? Alright, we're almost there. And of course it's below some... No, it's right here. Yeah, there we go. Go! Still have to go down. Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah. There we go. We already got what we came for. Nice. All right. This is the trial chambers, huh? Right, that's a skeleton spawner. Is there anything? Wait. How do we? Wait. That was it already? I got a regen potion. There's some... Why is there water in this? Anyways, okay, let's just grab some copper, which is what I came for. There's also chests in here. Empty chests, all right. Wait, let's actually grab already some oxidized copper because, yeah, I want some green trapdoors. All right, there are some mobs spawning again down there. All right, but this is kind of easy. There needs to be a way to make this... Like, I've seen this... Why are the chests all empty? I don't get that. Oh gosh, okay, that's a new thing, right? Okay, it's... Why is there water? Come on. Okay, I'm gonna use my bow for this. Yeet. Okay, you can't shoot him with bows. Where's this guy? And he's pretty much 2-hit. Alright. I just got some bread. Come on, I want some challenging things here. That was way too easy. Are there any more spawners? There's another spawner. Oh gosh, it's baby zombies. Come on. This dropper doesn't seem to spawn any items yet. I just got another bread. Nice. At least the barrels are not empty. Wait. Oh, it continues right here. Okay, there's some potion inside that. Easy. Give me some good this time, please. Oh, we got our first key. Wait, there's snow right here. There's strays. And it's powdered snow down there. Oh gosh, that's pain. Okay, let's make sure to not go down there. Another key. Nice. Let's see what we got. Wait. We finally got a chest, which is not empty. Alright, so I've actually done some research because, yeah, otherwise I don't know what to do in here to get that stronger mobs. Yeah, I've actually have to get ominous potions, drink it in here, and then I get like raids, dungeon mobs, whatever, which drops keys for that thing, that vault thingy up there. That's actually what gives the good loot. Maybe I'll come back later, but for now, I must stick to the thing I'm here for, which is copper blocks, so I can make some copper trapdoors. Wait, I'm probably farming the wrong copper. I can't do anything with that. I need copper ingots to make the trapdoors. Alright, let's craft some trapdoors. There we go. And that should definitely be enough. And let's put them on right here. Don't need to wax them or anything because I want them to be weathered. I think that's the basic shape. That's the final design for the entire hypertube. So let's just figure out how long the tube itself will be until the next pillar will come. Yeah, this is definitely way too close. And it will also cost way too many materials if we build it like that for 2000 blocks long. So yeah, let's just yeah, this is definitely way better. And as you can see, I've also made this a spiral glass pattern. Hey buddy, you good? But I think I'm gonna replace that with some tinted glass. But before we get a bunch of amethysts to make some tinted glass, it is now time to actually build the mechanism which will accelerate us in that hypertube. Now, if you haven't guessed already at the beginning of the video, the only option without buttons, levers or any charging contraption is boats. Yes, boats. Specifically, a bunch of boats in one spot. Now you just need to touch them and Now put them into a simple contraption so they won't go everywhere, and you have a simple and easy elytra cannon. I also thought about a water tube with soul sand and dolphins, which also gets you to a very high travel speed, but I can't put any more enchantments onto my boots, and the boat method is also way faster. You need a beefy PC though. Now we just need to build it right here. Alright, almost done. We just need to feed this dispenser with a bunch of boats. For which we need a bunch of wood. And let's just craft a bunch of boats. Alright, and to dispense all the boats, I might just use observers, which I placed in the wrong order. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Wait. Did I forget about something? Now we just gotta wait. Alright, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. That's gonna take a while. Alright, we got all the boats dispensed. Pretty sure I gotta remove that. This doesn't look right. Give me some flint, please. Oh no. What have I done? Yeah, that's definitely gonna take some time. What the hell is going on? And I gotta craft all these boats again. Quickly grab some netherrack. Alright. Ooh, gotta get rid of that mess now. Alright, cleared all the mess. Except that mess. Alright, let's also put some netherrack right here. Just in case we fail the next round too. Put all the boats in there again. There's something wrong. The boats are not supposed to come out down there. That's not supposed to happen. Alright, I gotta test that again. Oh my gosh, you are actually kidding me. I forgot about the second water bucket. Yeah, there we go. It's not coming out. Oh my god. I can't believe it was just that stupid mistake. Alright, just some temporary slabs right here now. I remove this. Nice, nothing moved. And for the final thing, which I found out in testing is also a good addition to this machine. Push these 2 blocks inwards. Break this, that. There we go, this should work. Alright, let's test that thing. I just gotta make sure that my crosshair is perfectly centered on this block. Which is going to be a bit hard, but okay, it didn't work. Let's try that again. Whoa! It's kinda working. I made something wrong again. Gotta do it again then.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I've just decided to build the basic boat acceleration thingy, which is a little less reliable, but let's see if this is working. Only gonna break the bottom one. Okay, let's see how far this gets us. I have my elytra, I have another totem. Yay! Oh gosh. Okay, it's working. Let's just quickly get rid of some of the wool, just so that we don't hit it again. Why did I even build this stupid line in the first place? Like, it's complete nonsense. Why did I do this? Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, yep. And here we are. And just look how long it takes for me to fly back. Nice. I actually lost a bit of FPS due to the high amount of entities in this area. And I can already see how to get at least some FPS back. Yeah, I can definitely feel at least some FPS are back. With the mechanic and the function of the hypertube now done, let's also make this look pretty too. And then we can start collecting all the materials we need to build the hypertube for about 2000 blocks. And once one end of the tube was looking good, I went to get the couple shulker boxes of white concrete and sand, converted the concrete and smelt the sand, before I got all the terracotta in a sandstorm. And finally, some more acacia wood, of which I soon realized I can get a bunch faster by destroying acacia villages. Don't mind if I do, but I might just destroy these houses to get some acacia wood faster. Alright, we have everything we need. The only thing missing are the amethyst shards to make all the tinted glass. And I think... Hey! And I think I should only search for amethysts within my home area, because that way I can make sure to only get fully grown amethyst shards. But where do we start? Wait, we have a giant hole below this nether. Here. Haha. Close that hole again and look at that. Nice. Oh, and I should probably use my fortune pickaxe for that. Let's roll a nice beat sync. I'm actually quite surprised how much amethyst shards you get with fortune. I mean, it's been just an hour farming amethyst, and yeah, I probably got already enough to make all the tinted glass. Well, I totally forgot that you need 4 amethyst shards to get 2 tinted glass. Oh boy, yeah, I gotta farm way more. This is all I got. It actually took 2 more hours to get all the tinted glass I need, but we have all the tinted glass now, which means we can finally start grabbing 1 shulker box of each material we need. And let's also start by replacing all this glass. There we go. Yeah, this is much better. Alright, you can stay here, buddy. I will probably never move you. This is your new home. Comment down below what you think, how long this will take me. Like building 2,000 blocks of this hypertube. Alright. Let's build. Alright, I'm pretty much halfway done, which I can tell by this small hill, because that's the end of the hypertube. And I just love this. I mean, look at that. This is just a cool thing to have in the Minecraft world. There's just one big hypertube going through this area. But yeah, I stopped building, because for the first time I thought I built this tube high enough, but I actually have to remove some terrain over here now. And while we're at it, I think I might remove a part of this hill as well. So let's just grab a shovel and do some more terraforming. Alright, that pretty much wraps up the terraforming, and now I should be able to finish building the hypertube. So let's just... there we go. Now we only need to remove this stupid line in the middle, and then we can test that hypertube for the very first time. So let's quickly use the end portal to get back home. Yeet, look at that, big boy. I don't know why, but even though it looks super futuristic, this fits into my world. So let's just go and grab some shears. Put efficiency and unbreaking onto them. And remove the wool. Whoa. I didn't know wool is insta-mined with efficiency 5. Where did I make 4 shears? I'm beaming through that wool. Oh, there we go. At least 1 shear wasn't enough. But now let's get back home and use this thing for the very first time. Quickly put away all the wool. And let's use that thing. Center the crosser and... shoo! Woo! Here we are. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. The only thing missing, yeah, this right. Oh, whoops. This right here is my current access to my end portal, which is definitely annoying with all the water right here. So that's definitely gotta be transformed. Oh my gosh, I said this like multiple times. So that's definitely gotta be transformed. Das kann doch nicht wahr sein. So that's definitely gotta be transformed for easier access. But that's a project for another episode. And let's enjoy these 2 seconds once again. I might try to fly a little more centered in the tube. It's not that easy to fly centered, but yeah, here we are. To fly all this would easily take half a minute, and we're here within 2 seconds. Amazing. Well, you could say that it was totally unnecessary to build that hypertube, because I could have just built the elytra cannon and fly off into the distance, while also having the benefit of choosing a direction. But hey, that way, it's just way cooler. And I love the idea of building a hypertube in my world. which wouldn't even be half this cool with the dolphin and soul speed method. Sometimes you just have to build what's cool only, and not 100% efficient as well. I got creative mode in my hardcore world. Well, not actually. At least not like that. But I built a giant version of the creative menu in my hardcore world, with corresponding farms to the items in front at the hotbar, making it a working creative menu in survival Minecraft. Now, first of all, like with every project, we need to decide where to build it. And since the back of this project is probably going to look hella messy, I decided to build it right here. Still in reach of my home area and in front of the swamp area, where I'm probably never going to build something, so I never have to see the back of it. So let's start by building the outline and get some black concrete. Yeah, I will definitely need more than that. So let's just use the hypertube I built last episode to get to my sand duper and AFK to get some more black concrete. Well, forget what I just said. We have tons of black concrete powder left in here. Just need to convert it and let's build the outline of this creative menu. Okay, now this is the part of the video where I have to realize how big this project actually is. I mean, right now it's just an outline, but oh boy, that thing is actually huge. And now I have to fill all that with some blocks too, which is probably around, I'd say 40k blocks. Luckily it's all just concrete blocks, so yeah, we are going to get those from the sand duper too. We have to make the concrete powder blocks first though, so yeah, I don't have any black dye, so it is definitely time to build a squid farm at some point. Wait, I did have some light gray dye in here. Didn't even have to farm the black dye. Let's put it in here. Alright, we need some sand and gravel. Ooh, I think I have to restock my sand soon. Let's make the light gray concrete. The white concrete should be enough left over from last project though. There we go. Which means we only have to do some gray concrete and light gray concrete powder. So let's just go to the end portal. Yeet! I love that new hypertube. Alright, let's remove that sand. And since we need 20k of light gray concrete, let's just make 3 sides light gray concrete and the final side gray concrete. Alright, let's start that machine, which is what I always forget before I enter the end. And there we go. Time to AFK a bit. Should have brought a few more shulker boxes. I only have 4 left, which is definitely not enough for 20k blocks. See you in a bit. Now, if I did my math correct, 21k blocks is about 6 double chests, which means we need 12 shulker boxes. We need a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, looks like I've paid just enough to fill the final shulker box with gray concrete. This should be all the concrete we need. Back home we go and turn it all into concrete. Alright, and I think I'll start with these category things, category tabs, I guess. So just grab a row of gray concrete, a row of white concrete, and a row of light gray concrete. Okay, my inventory is not big enough. Of course it isn't. Oh wait, let's quickly put that back, because I just forgot about the white wool I need.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not much white wool. Let's just use that string to craft some white wool. Alright, that should do. So let's just start with that one single gray block right here. Then there is some regular gray concrete on the floor right there. Also going up on this side. And over here we have the white. And then we just have to fill in the whole thing with light gray concrete powder. There we go. That's one down, 12 more to go. So let's get to work. Alright, it's been about 2 hours, I think. Well, I actually didn't check the clock. I have no idea how long it is, but it felt like 2 hours. And I only got the small portion of this creative menu done, with that one being the one which is selected. Anyways, I gotta build the big portion of this creative menu now. Let me know in the comments what you think, how long this will take, while I'ma continue placing blocks now. Oh boy, yeah, I can't wait to see all the items on there. And my initial plan was to build all the items for the category tabs right now. But yeah, since I'm running low on food, I think yeah, that's the last 22 golden carrots I have, and I wanted to build golden carrots in the hotbar as well. I think I'm gonna start with that and build a golden carrot right there, and then build something behind that which is producing the golden carrots. So let's just fly off and get the materials to build the golden carrot, which is mainly some yellow blocks. Alright. I'm also gonna use some glass to have something to stay on. Yeah, let's make it 3. There we go. Let's build a carrot. There we go. Carrot. And now let's just grab our redstone shulker, because we also need a way to get behind that slot. And I'm thinking a regular piston door is what will work the best. Gotta replace that with some solid blocks, so I can remove these two to build the platform behind here. Right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, I definitely won't build an entire gold farm and carrot farm behind just that area. That's just way too small. Instead, I think I might just grab some villagers, let them breed here, and then just do the same I did right here, just over there. So I quickly set up my basic villager breeder with tons of beds, went to get the villagers with a boat and lead, got some bread, and let them breed. And while the carrots farmer breed, let's build all the items for the category tabs. Starting with the more complicated ones, which are all the blocks, since they can't be built pixel by pixel. So I started with chest, for which I had all the materials in my storage. And no, that chest definitely looks way better than I was expecting. Still a little weird, but hey, this definitely looks like a chest. I may change the outlines to black terracotta instead of gray terracotta. Yep, black terracotta was definitely the better choice. Now for the bricks, I just went with 3 different shaded red tones. I tried adding the gaps between the bricks, but trust me, it didn't work at all. So this is as good as it can get. The cyan wool is also just 3 different cyan blocks. The grass block actually turned out quite good looking with the texture I came up with, and I also wasn't expecting the bookshelves to turn out this good. Let's just not talk about the ancient debris, which is probably the worst thing of this whole build. And for the last block, which is the recently added heavy core. Well, at least we got all the blocks built now. Let's not talk about the ancient debris, but at least the heavy core is somewhat recognizable. Let's continue with the pink spawn egg though. Let's start by making a bunch of pink dye, magenta dye, pink terracotta, magenta terracotta, pink concrete, stripped crimson. And last but not least, I also need a stripped cherry blossom wood, cherry wood. I do have 2 saplings in my storage system, which I got from when I found the cherry blossom biome, but it's been a while and I have no idea where this biome was. Let's just use that sapling, get some bone meal. Alright, we'll replace that sapling and now build a pink egg. You have to be kidding me. I didn't build it centered. There we go. This is centered now. Oh, we have a trident guy. Yeah, no trident for me. So what's the villager doing? Not fully breed, so I can continue with building some more items. Next up, iron ingots. And I'm pretty sure the netherite sword is going to be a little more complicated because of the colors I'm going to use. Hey, that actually turned out way better than I was expecting. Anyways, let's do the pickaxe. And I'm pretty sure we've all been building a pickaxe before. And if I'm not mistaken, we're only missing... Oh no, I was about to say we're only missing the compass, but yeah, there's a sign and the redstone dust missing too. So let's do it real quick. Oh, no. Wait, there's something off with the zag. Yeah, I think... Is it 1 block too low? Oh, no. Yeah, it is 1 block too low. I gotta rebuild that egg again. Anyways, I've already got quite the decent colored blocks collection right here. And I didn't even start building all the items on the ingredients page. But right now, I think we can start with the villagers right here, because there should be... Yeah, I can't see any baby villagers anymore. So that means they either have no more food or they occupied all beds. And I think they occupied all beds because, yeah, I gave them like a row of bread. So yeah, let's quickly set up the golden carrots trading stations. I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't record this with OBS and I only have a replay file. Anyways, this was a pretty boring process anyway. Okie dokie, so we have all the villagers leveled up to master and I've already did some trades for golden carrots right here. And whenever this chest is empty, I can just run another trading session right here. I may or may not build a second or third floor to this, but right now that's all I need. So for the next item, I just need 4 blocks, which is light blue terracotta, some white concrete, and white wool. Oh me, I'm actually missing 1 blue terracotta block though. Let's also extend that glass platform. There we go. And now it's time to get a bunch of materials to build a bone meal farm. I mean, look at that hardcore world. And I still don't have a bone meal farm yet. Let's go. Alright, bone meal farm is done. The activation lever is just over here. Tutorial for this farm will be linked in the description. Before I activate this farm, I actually have to bone meal these 2 once. There we go. And now if I flick this lever right here, this farm should be running. And the bone meal should shoot out right there. There we go. We have a working bone meal farm. We still need a shulker box loader right here. So let's quickly set that up. Alright. There we go. We got the chest where the filled shulker boxes will end up in. Oh. So let's just go over here, activate the farm, and let it run for a while to see if we actually get a shulker box in there. Alright, let's close that and build the next items. This is coming together really nicely, and now we just need to build farms for these 4 items right here. For these 3 there actually are no farms, obviously. Before we start building any of these 4 farms, let's check if we got at least 1 shulker box of bone meal. There we go, farm is working. Hey! It's been about 2 weeks since I've last recorded on this episode. I procrastinated a lot and I've also been on ski vacation. But let's not waste any time and continue right where we dropped off, which is the villager spawn egg. Oh, so let's just start by building a breeder behind that. Now the way I want this villager breeder to work is, I want with a single press of a button, a boat being dispensed and 2 villagers brought by minecarts to the boat. So they end up in the boat and I only have to use a lead and fly off with a boat of 2 villagers. Let me show you how I did that. First of all, we need the actual breeding area with all the beds, including a water system which brings the villagers all to one side. Now we added dispenser for minecarts and rails leading to the door where the villagers will get dropped off by activator rail. I then continued the rails into a cactus surrounded by hoppers leading all the way back to the dispenser, so every minecart will be recycled. Finally, cover up the drop-off area so the villagers can only go right next to the activator rail. And now we can wire everything to this single button, starting with a pulse extender going into the water system so it stays on for more than just a single second, giving the minecarts more time to pick up villagers. Another signal turning into 2 different timed signals using a bunch of repeaters so the dispenser sends 2 minecarts in a row. And finally, 1 more signal going into a dispenser for the boat. And if I now press this button, there should spawn a boat right here and 2 minecarts should arrive with some villagers inside once we started breeding some villagers over there. So let's quickly test that. The boat is here and there's 1 minecart and another one. Alright, get me some villagers. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Yes. Nice. Hey guys, I got some bread for you. Yeah, we got the boats. We got the villagers. We got the breeder done. The door is closing. Everything is fine. Let's continue with the rockets, for which we need to build 2 farms. Now for the creeper farm, we just need some basic materials. Just a bunch of building blocks, tons of trapdoors, carpet, and some campfires. And once we've built the creeper farm, we gotta go and breed some cats. So let's quickly run some Lego building sounds. Alright, we got the basic creeper farm done. Now we just need to get some cats. And I'm pretty sure I haven't bred cats once in this world, even though this world is almost 30,000 days. Oh, there's some cats over here. Kiddos. There should spawn cats right here, right? We have everything we need. We got the golems, we got the villagers, we got the beds. Let's go check another village. We got some villagers, we got some golems. Do we have cats though? Wait, this is an untouched village. Oh! Cat, look at that. We got a cat right here. Oh wait, it's not tamed. Alright, we need a second one. Any second cat? So you're telling me there was only 1 cat in this entire village? Oh, no, that's a chicken. Yeah. Oh! There we go. Yes, into the boat. Nice. Okay, give me my lead. Come up here and off we go. Oh no, I lost them. No. Where did I lost my cats? Aha! Yeah, there's no way I will find the lead though. Or did it drop somewhere? Oh! Okay. I lost them again. You know what? You guys teleport. Let's just walk then. Yep. 1, 2. And now I need more food, right? Let's quickly get some more food. Which should be found right here. Can we speed up them growing up? Yeah, you just ate a whole stack of fish. You better grow up now. Oh my gosh, no way. I can't even breed you because you grew up that fast. Okay, I might just quickly grab a snack. I just had to breed 10 cats and finally bring them all to their spots. Alright, creeper farm working. I've already seen some creepers fall down right here. Now we just need to fit in a sugarcane farm right here. So let's just go and grab some materials. And let's build a sugarcane farm. Okay, now we just need to make the auto crafting system, which will put the final rockets in this chest. And since I have absolutely no idea how to do that, there we go. Auto crafter build. Tutorial for this one in the description. Now we just need to build a killing chamber for the creepers and connect it with that hopper. So let's start by building killing chamber for the creepers. I'm pretty sure I can remove all that. That should do. So whenever we get gunpowder in here, it will climb up this elevator into the crafter, and as you can see, the crafter is already running, which produces our rockets. Next up, string, for which I just built a ton of string duper. Nothing special, but pretty effective. Now, before I continue with the honeycomb farm, I actually want to make sure the villager breeder is working. I mean, we should have all the beds occupied. There is no more breeding going on. So whenever I need some villagers, I should be able to grab a lead, press this, and now there should be 2 villagers coming. 1 and 2. Get both into the boat, and then I can just fly off with 2 villagers. What do I do with you guys now though? Let's just put them up here. Let's see how long these guys will stay on this stone right here. And now let's just continue with the honeycomb. But before I can actually build a honeycomb farm, I had to get some bees first. Oh, yeah, I've already stole all the bees for the honey farm in the Nether. So I grabbed some flowers, saplings and bone meal to grow some trees right next to flowers, hoping for trees to spawn with a bee nest. I thought the spawn rate was something like 5%, but this time I got pretty unlucky with 5 bee nests only. Anyways, 5 is enough to start breeding with, so I dug a tunnel this time to breed the bees in. I just realized I'm 1 left click away from losing this hardcore world. I mean, I could just unbind the left click, so I won't hit a bee. Oh, what's the fun in that, huh? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, so all the bees should be fully grown up, which makes it easier when building the farm later. And it also just went nighttime, so perfect timing to get the bees all into their hives. Okay, we have a problem. There are no bees left, which means not all beehives are full with 3 bees. I want them to be full with 3 bees, so I gotta continue breeding.
1 hour later.
Okay, now if that's not enough bees now, I don't know what is. It's almost night again. Let's see if these bees will fill up all the hives. Well, I guess I need more hives. Yeah, I only can make 22 more. It's a little funny how there was exactly 1 bee left, but it should do to build a proper honeycomb farm. Alright, only need to fill up all the dispensers with some shears, and then the honeycomb farm is done. We even have more than a shulker box. 1.5 shulker boxes of beehives left. Now, for the next couple of hours, I started to build all the items on the creative menu. However, I only have the replay file to edit this couple of hours, since the recording OBS did wasn't saved correctly, since my hard drive ran full. Again. Anyways, to decide which item I built, I simply shot a random arrow with my bow, and the slot the arrow landed on was the item I was going to build. So let's just roll a quick montage of me building some items on this creative menu. You guys seem to like my creative menu, even though it's not done yet. Alright, I've got some storage again on my PC. But hey, look at that, we got quite some items on that creative menu now. And even though I'm not quite happy with like the quartz, for example, or the lapis, this is looking really good. I mean, the ancient debris is still the worst thing of this whole project. The storage mess is getting even bigger. I mean, the only blocks I got sorted are the blue tones, and the rest is just a complete mess. But hey, let's get back to work and continue the montage. Now this next one is definitely going to be the hardest of them all. Ooh, that one was pretty hard. Okay, this is looking absolutely great, and I'm only missing the 2 copper things, the raw copper and the copper ingot, for which I gotta grab some copper blocks. I am not sure if I still have some left from building the hypertube. I have a few in here. Wait, there we go, we got some waxed copper right here. That's all, just that 1 stack. Let's also turn all that ingots into some regular copper too. And all the other blocks I should have at my project storage. Just some warped planks, orange terracotta, red terracotta, stripped cherry wood, some regular terracotta, stripped warped hyphia, and just 3 blocks of white concrete. And let's start with the raw copper. Oh, looks like I forgot about the stripped spruce. Boom. There we go, raw copper done, and I'm pretty happy with that. And now finally, for the copper ingots, for which I just need to grab some honeycomb. This farm is definitely working better than I was expecting. Just need some honeycomb to wax the regular copper blocks, so they won't oxidize. Already ran out of copper blocks, but I can just do that. Nice. Boom, there we go, that's it, copper ingot done. And with that, we have the whole page filled with items. And I've let that door open. Nice. That pretty much finishes the creative menu. Now, whenever I need a new farm, I can simply build it right behind the corresponding item, or just replace the already built item with a new one. I also quickly wanna let you know that I have a new Discord server, which you can join by the link in the description. First 50 people to join will get a special OG role. So make sure to join, because I still need mods too. It definitely feels a little weird having creative mode in my hardcore world now. I don't know if you noticed, but I like to build regular Minecraft things in really big. And for my end portal, I never wanted to do the same everyone else does with digging a giant hole and then fill it with different biomes. So after a couple months, I finally have an idea I'm happy with. Imagine a giant end crystal that fell from the sky, creating a massive crater in the ground. And to spice things up, the crystal is also spreading a custom end biome coming out of the crater. And also has a secret inside. At least that was the plan. Because I had to make a really bad discovery and change plans later. But for now, I don't know that. I will also put the download for the final project on my Discord server if this video reaches, let's say, 20k likes. I haven't done that in a while. But now, for the first step to create a giant crater, I have to drain this river. I have no sponge though. Let's go grab some puffer fish from the Guardian farm and brew some water breathing potions, as well as get a shulker box full of milk and raid a bunch of ocean monuments to get some sponge. Now let's set up a portal for quick nether access to drain the sponges and start draining the river. It definitely wasn't the best idea to use black concrete powder to drain the river, but it was the only block I had tons of laying around, and it also turned out to be no problem at all later. Okay, so I just wasted the last 3 hours draining that river behind me, because I just found out that almost every single cave below that river and exactly where I want to build that giant crater is underwater. It's filled with water, every single cave. Let me show you this real quick. See, initially I planned to make a crater which looks something like that. Obviously not as clean as this here, but something like that. And then put the end crystal in the middle of that. Now check this out. I'm in spectator mode in a creative world. And this is the area where I want to put the crater. The river isn't drained yet. Now let's see. Like, this is already all water which needs to be gone. And the worst thing of this all is that it is the dripstone caves underwater. Like, these can't be filled with blocks or something. You need to use sponges to drain these dripstones. And it continues all the way, everywhere. Like, there is no way I'm draining all of this. And it doesn't stop here. There's even more right there. Look at that. So yeah, because of that, we're gonna change plans. And if I don't make a crater in here, I want the area to be flat at least. So these two mountains have to go. So let's just start with that one. And I'm pretty sure we should have... Oh, I'm missing slime blocks. Thought we have everything we need in the redstone shulker, but no I don't. Let's get some materials and build some TNT dupers. And let's build some TNT machines. Alright, and just so that this process is faster, I built 3 of them. But before we can actually start them, they are way too close to the mountain, so we gotta remove all these trees now. How are we gonna do that? Yeah, I need more flint and steel. I don't get that. Why can't the tree just burn completely down when you light it on fire? All these single blocks are potential blocks to break the TNT dupers, and I gotta remove them all manually. Okay, that should do. I think just to be extra safe, I'm gonna remove some of these small hills as well. Alright, that should do. I've checked the Y coordinates and the flying machines are at least 15 blocks above the mountain, which should make sure the machines won't break. So let's just start them and remove an entire mountain. It doesn't matter for the project, but I still want to show you this funny coincidence. At first, I started to AFK at this dirt line, but it turned out it was just 1 block too far away from the returning mechanism. So the TNT duper stopped working about 1 block in front of them. So I had to AFK just 1 block further and the duper started running again. Yes, I could have just built a platform in the center, but well, I was too lazy. Alright, 1 day later and the entire mountain is gone. So I guess another day, another mountain. So... mountain gone. Disappeared. It's gone. Another day, another mountain. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I just realized I could have let that machine run a little more, so to get rid of all dead trees as well. Now, obviously, all this gotta be rebuilt, reforested, turned into jungle again. But before I actually do that, let's start working on the actual project, which is the giant end crystal. Okay, so now that we have a flat area, still gotta get rid of these trees right here. Let's start designing and building the bedrock part of the end crystal. So I hopped into a creative world and went straight to work, messing up the dimensions a few times, but in the end, the bedrock base was no big deal. Then used Lightmatica to turn it into a schematic, so I know exactly how many materials I need. And now, let's get some materials. Starting with a bunch of dirt I got from my dirt farm, mood quartz, which I still had to smelt at the super smelters, and grey and light grey concrete, which I got from my sand duper. Alright, so the quartz is still smelting in the background to get the smooth quartz, and the only block I'm missing is some clay. Now, I could either build a clay farm, which produces the amount of clay I need within 1 hour, or I'll just go around manually in all these rivers and collect the clay that way, which could take a while, since I need 3k of clay. Let's just go around manually and do that for 10 minutes, until the quartz is all smelted, and see how much clay we can get. Alright, it's been 10 minutes, I haven't checked my inventory, so let's see. Okay, I was expecting a little more, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. At least the quartz is all smelted. Let's just go into the swamp, because I think getting clay in the swamp is way faster. I mean, look at that. It has a bunch of clay around here. Let's get to work. Yes, this is definitely way faster. Right, it took a while, but here we are. Boom. I'm missing a bit, but there we go. We get 2 shulker boxes of clay, which is definitely one of the more annoying things to do in Minecraft, and an entire swamp biome without any clay now. Before we actually start building the base of the end crystal now, I gotta do some more cleanup real quick. Remove all the TNT machines and also get rid of all the trees right here. Let's just start with the dirt right here. Now for all the trees, for which I again could use flint and steel, but why not collect some jungle wood? Sooner or later, I will need some of this. Alright, this took way longer than I expected, but at least I got a bunch of jungle wood now. For what? I don't know, but I got it now. And can someone explain in the comments why there are some random blocks above that lava lake? I mean, why does this game generate like that? Anyways, now comes the fun part, or should I say the most annoying part of this whole video, because I just need the coordinates of the portal now, which are these. It should be right here. And now I gotta center the schematic, which is even. That means there's 4 blocks on top of the 1 block, which is the center of the portal, which makes it not symmetrical. Anyways, it's so big that I probably won't even notice. So with the base now centered, we can start building. Alright, we now have a bedrock block in the middle of a jungle, well, with just a small hole in the jungle. And that thing actually doesn't even look as big as it actually is. I mean, that's almost 100 by 100 blocks. Anyways, it's time to start designing. Now, first of all, we definitely gotta rebuild the terrain, so it's easier to build everything else. Once the terrain is done, I will get a bunch of endstone and spread it around the bedrock base of the end crystal. Then, to make it a custom biome, I'll add purple lakes using the glass void technique and custom build trees. Once that is done, we can reforest the jungle around the project, and with all the terrain and biome work done, it's time to put the end crystal on top. So let's start by getting some dirt with our dirt factory. There is a bit in here, but we definitely need more. So is there still some bone meal in this? I don't think so. But guess who built the bone meal farm last episode? Nice. Yeet. Alright, let's start the farm and get some dirt. Well, I just ran out of dirt. Gotta get some more. Now if that's not enough, I don't know what is. Okay, so this actually took quite a lot of dirt. To be exact, this much, except twice this much. But with the basic terrain work now done, I think we can start with marking the outline of where the custom end biome will be. But I think therefore we have to remove some of the trees over here real quick. So let me just quickly pick my axe and remove some trees. Almost an hour breaking trees, just because I wanted to make this editing trick, but hey, look at that. We almost got 2 more shulker boxes of jungle wood, as well as the saplings which we will need later to reforest all the jungle. And yeah, there seems to be some kind of bug with the mods I'm using, or the version I play on, because some of the leaves just won't break after the leaves decayed naturally, which is annoying because breaking that takes some time. Alright, I think that's been all the leaves. Okay, so let's get back home, grab a new shulker box and get all the endstone we have in our storage, which luckily is quite a bit. And while we're home, let's also continue this direction and repair the hole. And now let's build the outline of the custom end biome. Well, I just ran out of endstone, but yeah, that's just been almost a shulker box of endstone. With the outlet being almost a shulker box of endstone, I probably need about 10, 15 shulker boxes to fill all that. And we all know how annoying farming endstone is. So let's just get up to that tree right here and quickly do that. Let's just not talk about how long this took. I've almost spent an entire day on this. And here's the time lapse of me getting all the endstone. I even have almost 3 shulker boxes left. I even collected most of the grass I replaced with endstone. I may or may not make something like this to the edge, just so the biome blends a little better into the grass, like that. Yeah, that's looking way better. Yeah, I will definitely do that. But right now, yeah, I'm too lazy to continue placing some endstone. I do hope 3 shulker boxes is enough, and I still need some shulker boxes to build the magenta glass void lakes, thingies, whatever. Let's not waste any time. Start building some lakes. Believe it or not, but after hours of farming and placing endstone, I did not spend a single thought about leaving the holes for the lakes already while replacing all the grass with endstone. So yeah, here I am digging them again. 8 layers deep to stack 7 layers of glass for the void effect. Also making the walls endstone, of course. I don't know what else to say, but I feel like this time-lapse would be kinda boring without any commentary. So yeah, Fischer's Fritz, frische Fische. Oh yeah, and I had more than enough endstone left to refine the edges of the biome. Hey, well, I still have to annoy you a little more with voiceover, since for some reason my recordings started to absolutely freak out and lag like crazy. I mean, check this out. Yeah, I think my 3090 is slowly dying. I only talked about how stupid I am anyways, because I did not think about making endstone slabs to save time, because I always think it's just endstone bricks which can be turned into slabs. Anyways, I also broke one of my netherite pickaxes while digging the lakes, but there is absolutely no way I will find this spot in a 2 hours replay file, and I also had to decide for a light source on the bottom of the lakes, for which I went with the purple frog lights. I had about 1 shulker in my storage, but I already knew that won't be enough. And of course it wasn't enough. So I went to my froglight farm in the Nether, which I had to search first, since I completely forgot where I built it. So 10 minutes later and I found it. But turns out Mojang changed the way magma cubes and slimes hit in 1.21, so the golems were taking damage, forcing me to repair them manually, losing my last totem in the process. At first, I was fine with repairing the golems every couple of minutes, but in the end I found the fix for this farm online, so I went to grab some new totems and a few materials to fix the farm. And voila, golems are not taking damage anymore and I can peacefully AFK. So let's finish the froglight layers before I go AFK at the sand tuber to get all the sand we need for the glass void effect. Okay, I've been AFK for about 2 hours and I've just checked my recent recordings, which are kind of broken. Like, they are hella laggy. I feel like my graphics card is slowly dying. I had to change the settings in OBS, hoping my recordings won't lag anymore. Definitely gonna safety check the recordings after a couple of minutes. Let's go to our super smelters and smelt the sand though. before we start getting magenta and purple dye. I need some hoppers. Pretty sure we'll need more than 7 shulker boxes of glass. Oh, look at that. Here's some shulker shells in here. Well, there's some wood, so we can make more chests. Turn them into shulker boxes. Boom. And then get more sand. Okay, this amount should definitely do now. Let's just smelt all the sand and get the dye we need. Now for the magenta and purple dye, I only need white, red and blue dye. White is no problem, since I had enough bone, as well as red, which I got from all the poppies of my iron farm. I only had to get a bunch of blue dye, which I used my flower farm for. Did a little upgrade to the farm and used flint and steel to get rid of all the flowers I didn't want after collecting all the blue flowers. I also went to enchant the flint and steel with unbreaking. Trust me, at some point, I will fix that hole. So after quite a while of farming blue dye, I had at least 1 shulker box each of purple and magenta dye. We should have all the dye now. I even unnecessarily made pink dye because I once again was checking for old dye recipes. And what about the glass? Still smelting. So if my brain is properly braining, I use 2 shulker boxes of rock light for 1 layer, and I'm gonna build 7 layers of glass, which means I need 7 shulker boxes of each dye. That should be it. So I made 7 shulker boxes of magenta glass and 7 of purple glass, but I did not think about the fact that 7 layers is uneven. So I actually need 8 shulker boxes of purple glass and only 6 shulker boxes of magenta glass. In the end, I didn't need exactly 2 shulker boxes for 1 layer though. So I had enough glass, even though my brain was not properly braining. Anyways, we have all the glass now. Let's fill the first lake. Hey, let's go. Not gonna lie, could have used 1 more layer, but yeah, there's no way I can change that now. So let's just continue. Okay, final layer, and this is how much purple stained glass I have left. I have almost 2 shulker boxes of magenta stained glass left, and I do think this gotta be enough. This is actually enough. It is enough. Look at that. Oh, nice. This just adds such a nice touch to this project. The purple lakes look amazing. Time to build some trees. This is probably the part of the video I'm mostly proud of, because for the first time ever I built actual custom trees which are not shaped or related to Minecraft vanilla trees. And hey, I think for the first time they turned out absolutely amazing. I actually can't believe I managed to build trees that good. Like, these custom trees look amazing. Anyways, let's build them. So after turning all the trees into schematics, I only had to place them all over the custom biome and then get all the materials. I only had to get these 3 materials though, since the rest was already in my storage system. So I duplicated some more purple concrete, spent about 2 hours farming amethyst, slayed a bunch of blazes and got some chorus fruits melted to get the end drops. Went back to the project and let's build some trees. So I had no idea how many materials I actually need, and I'm quite surprised that I had way more than I needed. Like, look at that, I almost have 1 full shulker boxes of amethyst blocks left. The only material running low were the birch logs. But hey, look at that. We get some trees. We get some purple trees. So since I have some materials left, I could build a few more trees, but I don't want to make it look too crowded. And I think, yeah, that's a good amount of trees. There are just some details missing on the ground right here, because the trees turned out a little bigger than I was expecting. We still need some sort of foliage between the trees. Maybe I just add some coarse fruits and let them grow. But right now, I want to make this project look a little more complete, because with that bland, flat, boring terrain area right next to the project, this whole area is looking a little weird. So let's start the mission, reforestation. Now, to reforest the jungle, we obviously need a bunch of jungle saplings. The almost 2 stacks we got earlier won't be enough at all. So I went to put fortune onto my hoe. No, I won't do the same bit twice in one video. Just had to fly to a jungle I don't mind destroying, and I found out the fastest way to collect jungle saplings is by shaving the top 2 layers of the big jungle trees. That way, there's 1 layer left to walk on, and you don't have to get to the ground and collect all the saplings you just farmed. So I shaved all big jungle trees of this entire jungle before I also got to the ground to get some leaves too. Now, we also need some of these leaves, and can actually someone tell me why is it oak leaves? Why is it oak leaves in the jungle? Anyways, let's also get a bunch of leaves. Alright, let's start replanting a forest. Okay, it is actually a little sad that the color of the trees is different, since there used to be a mountain here and the jungle biome was only on top of the mountain, but there's nothing I can do about that. Anyways, let's continue with this giant area right here. Okay, so the next morning I made a decision I know some of you might not like. But I just couldn't ignore the color difference between the jungle and the area where the mountains were. Especially since it's all been jungle when the mountains were still there. But since Mojang added vertical biomes, the mountains itself are no jungle biome, causing the color difference. So I actually decided to use World Edit to set the biome to jungle again, making it all the same saturated green. I think we can all agree on that this looks way better than this. Yep, definitely happy that I made this decision. This just looks way better than before. But hey, I guess it's time to clean up all the shulker box mess right here and then start designing the actual end crystal and build it on top. So yeah, let's do that. Yes, finally the time has come to build the actual end crystal. So I started designing the core block of the end crystal, which turned out way harder than I expected, since the pinkish color of the core block was kinda hard to replicate with the blocks available in Minecraft. But I think I did a good job though. I then used World Edit to make an angled version of the core block. Now for the white frame things, which I had to build a little bigger. Then use World Edit again to put the frames around the crystal cores. And well, even though this one looks a little cleaner, this one looks way better. Just had to fill all the holes caused by the angle, and the end crystal was done. Now we have quite some materials to get. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see me AFK to get a ton of concrete. So boom, there we go. Hey, let's start building. Well, I can't lie, but these white outer crystal frames definitely look a little messy. What can I say? I'm not a pro builder, so that's the best I can do. But let's continue building the crystal inside. So yeah, run the timelapse again. Whoa. Nice. Nice. Yet, I still didn't clean up my mess right here, but the project is pretty much done now. Now, for those who paid close attention on the time-lapse, you may saw that I built the inside of the thing completely with black concrete. Because like I said at the intro, I'm gonna build a small secret inside here. Because right now, the inside of this is just another mob farm. So let's quickly grab some materials. Just need some endstone, of which I have exactly 1 shulker box left. Wait, I probably only need about 1 row. Also grab some more obsidian. Also grab some torches. And just 1 block of deep slate. And the final thing we need for the secret, which also spoils what the secret is about. Oh boy, I haven't been here in a while. Yeet. We need the dragon egg. Oh, where did it go? Probably went inside the castle somewhere. Nope, it's not in here. Aha, there we go. Now I want to build a tiny end island inside there. And then this whole thing is actually just a cool looking project where my dragon egg is stored. So yeah, let's try to not fall down, make any creepers to explode, and start building a small end island in here. I'm not quite sure if I want to make it circular, because right now wait, I messed it up. something like that, and I think one more layer. Also check this from below. Where is no mobs? Right here. Yeah, that's looking good. Oh gosh, wait, I forgot. I didn't build this centered like this. Once again, 4 blocks in the middle. But I want to put a dragon egg centered, of course. Yeah, with 1 deep slate block. So, we gotta fix that real quick. Alright, I think I fixed it. Let's just add the obsidian. Right, before we actually place the obsidian, let's use some placeholder blocks. Like, yeah, that's not looking good. Okay, we gotta make this island a little bigger. Oh no! I ran out of endstone. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. Where do I land safely? Ooh, gonna nail this.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, I have no more rockets. Oh. Kill these 2 zombies. No biggie at all. And let's also get a new totem. Yes. Let's put 2 here. 3 right here. And so on. There we go. And since I don't have tiny end crystals, I'm just gonna use torches. There we go. And in the middle, the deep slate, which is the block looking the most like bedrock. And on top, we're gonna put the dragon. Let's turn off the gamma mod. And there we go. We can't see anything around this island because it's all black concrete. Ah, we can see the mobs a little. And just like that, we have ourselves tiny end island for our dragon egg. And obviously the final thing before I finish this video, I gotta dig a hole right in the center of this bedrock block to actually get to my end portal. Which is definitely not gonna be fun with all these mobs around. Oh. Anyways, let's get to work. Oh shit. So we are almost at the end of this video, because I gotta start speedrunning editing right now, since I've only got a few hours left to finish this video. Before I can't for an entire week. So yeah. I also totally underestimated how long digging takes in this game. 2 pickaxes and 2.5 hours just to dig down to my end portal. I could have decorated this a little more, but like I said, I'm running out of time. I also built this new sand duper, for which I unfortunately forgot to record the time-lapse, but I got the time-lapse for the new storage system in the end though. And yeah, we are pretty much done now. We removed 2 mountains, built a giant bedrock block, a custom end biome with these amazing trees, giant end crystal on top, and a tiny end island, which is finally a worthy place for the dragon egg. That's it for today's episode. See you in the next one. German Potato over and out. Bye bye.